Just flying through GIS day 2 for LA County. It is noon, so that means we will be graced by the amazing Amanda and bodacious Brian with EagleView. They will be caking outside the box through our noon lunch period. That should be really exciting. I still think they are. Ooh, okay, they're coming online. Look at that. We're gonna have some good stuff going. Okay, I think you're spotlighted. We can see that wonderful sign. You spent quite a bit of time on that, it looks like.
Thank you, guys. Well, welcome to Caking Outside the Box with EagleView today. We're going to be your hosts through this adventure. My name is Amanda Bullen.
And my name is Brian Bodacious Garcia, better known as Shoe Step.
So, I mean, it begs the question, has anybody ever given you 3 boxes full of stuff, told you they're related to cake, and told you you had to take things out of them and figure out what to do? Brian, has that ever happened to you?
I can't say that it's happened to me in this lifetime, Amanda.
Well, it's a first day for everything.
Well, wait a minute. What do we got going here? We've got a couple of boxes on this table. I'm super excited. You didn't tell me anything that's going on.
Yeah, I know. So we're going to take a look at all the boxes. We're going to explore what's in there. In the end, we're going to probably have some cake, maybe some cookies. I don't know. We'll have to see where the next hour takes us.
And Amanda, before we get started, obviously with our caking out of the box, we do have to make sure our sponsors are well recognized here for this particular presentation. This first section was sponsored by EagleView, set us up with some nice coldies. So thank you, EagleView. We appreciate that.
Awesome. Well, let's get started. Do you want to dig into the box?
Sure. I hope nothing's going to jump out on me. Let's see what we got here in box number 1.
Okay.
Ooh.
So looks like we got a paper. So looking at box number 1, we're looking at the right ingredients. So what do we got in here?
Well, what typically would go in a homemade cake?
I think we got some eggs, powdered sugar, maybe a little flour. I bet the powdered sugar is for the frosting, some sugar. All right, like everything.
So Amanda, I got a question for you before we go into the measurements, because measurements are always super important when it comes to not only cake baking, but also using EagleView software. So when you talk about these ingredients, can you tell me why it's so important when you're talking about doing a homemade cake, of why ingredients are so important?
Well, Brian, we've got these different measurement tools in here, and they're going to be helpful when we put these ingredients together to get an outcome of our cake. And if we're using the right ingredients, the measurement tools with the right amount of ingredients, I think that our end product is going to be better, and everyone's going to be happier with the cake at the end.
Now, Amanda, I have a couple of questions for you when it comes to baking a homemade cake. We're talking about the right ingredients, the right measurements. Now, does this relate to anything in real life?
I mean, if you really think about it, if you're going through, this is GIS Day, Brian. Did anybody tell you that?
Today, nobody told me
it's
today was
GIS Day.
Happy GIS Day.
Yes, the best day of the year. So, in regards to GIS Day, when people are out there using their GIS, they use imagery a lot. And you know what? EagleView has the right ingredients for you to be able to do your work and have efficient workflows with that right ingredient.
And I'm not going to get too far off topic, but later on today at 3 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, I will be doing a presentation and talking about the right ingredients when it relates to a aerial imaging company. So please join my session in order to hear more about the right ingredients and what it takes to bring to the table in order to be a good company in aerial imaging.
Well, Brian, not to spoil anything, because I know 3 p.m. is going to be, or 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 2 p.m. Pacific time. We're in Phoenix, sorry guys. But what kind of ingredients does EagleView have that allows our customers to put their trust into us?
Yeah, well, that's a good question, Amanda. I'm glad you asked. When I look at something like EagleView, first of all, you got to look at how long a company like ours have been in business. We've been in business for about 20 years now, back starting in 2000. And we were essentially the pioneer of oblique imagery. So,
Wow.
traditionally, Amanda, you've always looked at aerial imagery in a straight down view, right? Or ortho view. Well, what EagleView ended up pioneering is that oblique image. Now, it's always been in the industry to take a hot air balloon or airplane, that sideways view. But what EagleView did is they actually ended up designing a technology that allows users to accurately measure and be able to do things from their desktop.
Kind of like a cake, huh?
That's right. That's right. And not only can you measure on top of these images, one of the very unique capabilities that our technology also has is being able to overlay GIS data right on top of your cake.
Huh. That's awesome. Well, let's get all this stuff back in here. Maybe if we shake it up, we can get our cake baked. Where's that lid?
Here we go.
Should we put it all back in here and see what the right ingredients are going to get us?
All right.
Okay.
Let's shake this box up and see what happens.
Ready? Okay.
All right.
Okay. Whoa. That was a long hour. We're back, guys.
A little bit of cooking magic, but this is exactly what the right ingredients will get you here. Exact measurements, exact time on the baking, and now we got a 3-layer cake.
That looks fantastic.
Yep, thank you very much.
Wow, great job, Brian.
Well,
I'm impressed.
Well, we're gonna go ahead and pop this back in the oven and do a little bit of cooking with this, and we'll see how it's doing here at the end of the show, okay?
Okay. Well, don't get sad, guys, because we have 2 more boxes to go through. Okay, Brian, are you ready? Do you want to do the honors?
Oh, another box.
Yes, box number 2.
Excited. Here we go.
Of course, brought to you by EagleView.
That's right. All right, box number 2. What do we have?
Oh my goodness. Well, this.
First of all, we have a sign that says the easy way out.
Well, this looks good, right?
Easy always sounds good.
I know.
Right?
Okay, well, let's see what we got in there.
Maybe that's not the case all the time. Well, what we got here is some
like my mom used to make.
pre-made mix, some pre-made icing.
Okay, that does seem easy.
So we have here.
Oh, cookies. We haven't done anything with cookies yet.
And we know that cookies are included in this year's competition. So, this is the easy way out by going and grabbing a package and putting that in. What do you think the results are going to be, Amanda?
Well, I mean, it would be nice to be able to grab something just right off the shelf, right? Whenever I wanted it. But what if I didn't want Christmas trees on my cookie? It's a little early. Maybe I want turkeys on my cookie. How do I do that?
Well, you're exactly right. And that kind of brings me back to our company as far as EagleView and how we service our customers. One of the things that's made us unique in this particular industry is being able to capture imagery when our customers want us to capture the imagery. There's a lot of different needs that we're trying to serve within the space. And one of those could be somebody wants leaves on their imagery. Somebody wants leaves off their imagery. And so what EagleView's created in the industry is being able to customize your flights and being able to fly your areas at the resolution that you want those images at.
That seems awesome. That seems like a better solution for me. But I can understand maybe, what about like what it's made of? Like this off-the-shelf stuff. Like what?
So you're talking about the ingredients that goes into the off-the-shelf.
It seems like a lot more in here than we had in the right ingredients, right? Like we don't have control over it. Like, do you think that can mess things up?
Well, I would think so, Amanda. I've got to imagine when I can't even pronounce half of the words on this ingredients list, I would have to think that I don't even know what I'm going to get in this particular box in the outcome.
Yeah, well, let's go ahead. I'm skeptical, but let's go ahead and whip these cookies up and see exactly what we can get.
All righty.
Okay, I think this one might be more like 30 minutes. Cookies don't take that long. Woo! Okay, what do we have here?
Wow, look what we came up with. A nice little Christmas gnome, but that is not it. What we do have in here are some out of the box
Oh.
cookie.
Hmm.
Wow, this one,
Well, I mean, they're cookies, I guess.
I don't think it passed the test, Amanda.
Yeah, I think that other cake looks a lot better.
I think we both can agree that
Yeah.
the way to go is actually to work, put together the ingredients in order to make the best cake possible, and being able to control those measurements with the ingredients, with the baking time. You saw the results that we got with the cake versus what we're getting here with out of the box.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, the right ingredients are important. So let's maybe push this stuff aside and move on to the last box.
Sounds good.
Okay, well, let's see. Are you excited?
Are we on our third box?
Yeah, I think we're on the third one. So
All right.
is this box also brought to you by EagleView?
That's right. Well, Amanda,
Okay.
I can't tell you, the anticipation is brewing. I've been waiting
What's in
for this
here?
particular box
Okay.
all day long.
I feel like this one's gonna be the best,
This is going to
right?
be the best. I
Does
think.
it? We went from great to good or great to worst. Okay, let's see what's in here.
Here we go.
Huh. This is
All right. So
interesting.
before I pull out this sign, we talked about, you're exactly right, of having the right ingredients. But one key factor that I think we left out is who's actually putting together the cake.
Yeah, that's true. Like, it takes a team or it takes a village, right? To make that cake,
It absolutely does. You got
especially
things
in the no more.
you got things that are passed on, from generation to generation when we talk about homemade desserts and cakes.
Absolutely.
And I think, with this last box, this is the last sign we have here. It says, when we all work together, we
Oh,
probably are going to get the best result. And let's see what we have in that when we talk about.
oh, well, this looks like a really great ingredient.
And let's see, we also have some baking powder. We have some of the sugar.
Oh, what about this?
All right.
This is a good one.
And we're starting to put together all of these ingredients in order to make things work.
Huh. We got this one.
And one of the main ingredients that was originally put together that made this team so useful, this is coming out to be a great cake.
Got ingredients for frosting, everything else. And of course, the most important part of all, the community that's working together. So, Brian, I think what this box is telling us is that it really takes the whole group and the whole team at Lariat to make things work with their aerial imagery project.
And Lariat, what is this Lariat you talk about? I think people are going to have to tune into my presentation at 3:00 this afternoon to learn more about Lariat.
Yeah, and their partnership with EagleView and how great everything has been through the years. And they've been able to really get people involved in GIS, and they really
Yeah, I agree, Amanda. Again, I'm having a presentation that's going to be talking about the partnership between the two companies and what has transpired over essentially the past 10 years or so, as far as the business relationship, and having those right ingredients and the key players involved is what's really made this a successful partnership when it comes to a GIS company and geospatial company like ourselves, and then working with.
Absolutely. I could not speak more highly of everyone that I've worked with out there.
So I heard we have a contest going on. Is that true?
Yeah, well, don't you think we should put all this stuff in and make the cake?
Well, let's clean up and let's make this cake.
Let's see what this creates for us. Do you think maybe this might, since we have all of the right ingredients working together, we might get cookies out of this one too?
We may get cookies.
Okay. Let's shake it up and see what happens.
I need a little bit of cookie
It's like
magic.
an earthquake. Okay. Okay, guys.
Can we do a little cookie magic, please? I think we are done. Amanda and I have
goodness.
brought out some amazing cookies here that we
Guys.
did it up ourselves, just came fresh out of the oven. And I'd like to be able to show you a little bit of detail. Now, of course, they didn't let us enter the competition this year, rightfully so, but I'd like to be able to show off the ware in terms of the detail that went into the cookies that Amanda and I had made for this particular baking competition.
Brian, when we have everyone working together, the cookies even come out pre-packaged. This is amazing.
I'll tell you what, I don't know how they do that.
I
but
don't know.
It must be TV magic.
So, cake? Do we have a cake?
You know what? I think we may, Amanda.
Oh my gosh, this oven just keeps.
And what do you know? We have another box number 4.
GIS Day 2021 for LA County.
That's right. So this is a cake that we put together for the baking competition. I can't wait to cut into it and see what it's all about. I believe it's filled with a lot of good goodies. Strawberry right here.
All things that we can pronounce too. I can pronounce strawberry, right? Did I do it right?
You did.
Okay.
You did.
Strawberry.
So one last thing, let's just go ahead and recap again what we talked about here in this baking, because in all fun, yes, but I think it's the messaging that we wanted to come across and to the folks that were able to sign in today is that, you know, whether it's baking a cake or dealing with a business partner within the GIS industry, I think it's very important that you do a true and thorough evaluation of what you're putting into that cake, for example, or in this case, when working with a particular company, and making sure that all of those right ingredients, all of those tools, all of those experience, all of the partnerships that are in place, those are definitely important when it comes to making a decision and deciding whether you want to work with that particular business partner. Whereas in the second box, we talked about ingredients or things that were already pre-canned or off the shelf, where essentially, it's being produced with not a customization in mind. It's essentially for the masses, but you can't necessarily control what you like. So it's not necessarily a homemade or a custom cake, which again, can be a bit limiting at times.
Absolutely.
And doesn't allow you to get your full value, I believe, in not only with the cake baking and reach your full potential as a baker, but also when dealing with companies and being able to have a partnership and be able to do what you want to do in relation to our businesses, flying at the time that you want to fly and the specs that you want to fly, the specs you want to have in your particular project. And third and most importantly, and I think that's why we saved that box for the end, is, in our particular industry, you can have the best technology, the best imagery, but really what makes this thing go is having a great leadership and team in place. And, I'm really having this open discussion here on this presentation, because if folks that are signing in that aren't involved in Lariac, or maybe you're from another county, another city, signing in from somewhere else, I think it'd be worth your while to take a look into the Lariac consortium that's been formed and it's been around for years in LA County. And what they've decided to do in terms of joining forces with all the different government entities within LA County in order to leverage their economies of scale, but also be able to have consistency, be able to have a long track record in order to start implementing and deploying technology the way that it's supposed to be deployed, right? But that doesn't come without having the right players in place, the right teammates in place, and really being able to all work together in order to produce a good result.
Absolutely, Brian. And thank you to all of our partners at Lariac who make our job so easy. We love working with you guys, each and every one of you. You always bring amazing things to the table. And I did want to take a short opportunity to let you know that even if you aren't aware or haven't taken advantage of it, if you are a member of Lariac, all of your training, all of your support, all of your integrations, everything that you want to set up and implement into your workflows is included in your membership. So please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Please, visit Brian's presentation here coming up soon so you can learn even more about what we're doing.
Yeah, very good. Appreciate it. I hope you guys have a good rest of the conference. I know Steve or John is going to pop in here, and I know everybody's waiting to see who are the winners of this year's baking competition, guys. So we're going to go ahead and hand it over to you and see how that goes.
Yeah, let's eat some cake.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ace.
Steve. I think you're on mute, Steve.
There we go. Got to put the microphone in front of my mouth. Apologies. So thank you, Brian and Amanda. That was really good. Both the cakes and cookies, although I agree the homemade is better, the custom made to spec as opposed to the out of the box pre-made stuff. So what we're going to do next is switch over to presentations of the awards for the cookie and cake decorating contest. We did have a good slew of entries. The judges spent the last several hours carefully evaluating all the entries to select winners in the various categories. So we have two folks that will be coming on here in just a minute to present the awards and show you the award-winning entries. And then following that, I want to come back and recognize all of our planning committee once again before we take a short break, and then we'll resume with the regular presentations at 1 o'clock following these awards. The other announcement I'll make just briefly is don't forget that the GIS Geography Treasure Hunt is still open to play and enter for the door prize drawing. Entries for that will be cut off at 4 o'clock p.m. today. So if you haven't gotten your entry in after the cake awards during the brief break, you might want to take a look at that and enter into the drawing. So with that, I'd like to invite Victor and Jordan to come on screen and on audio, and we can do the cake award presentations and cookie award presentations. So Victor and Jordan, are you ready?
Yeah.
Yes, we are here today. Unfortunately, I am having camera technical issues, but we will be presenting. So let me, Jordan, I'll be sharing my screen.
Okay.
Okay, so first we want to thank everyone who participated in this year's Mapping Outside the Box Cake and Cooking Competition. There was numerous entries, and it was awesome being able to see everyone's creative work involving cakes and cookies with the theme. Each one that we will be announcing right now will also receive a gift card. So for the first best in, can everyone see the screen?
No, we're not seeing the screen share. We're seeing Jordan.
Okay, share.
There
How's
it comes.
that?
Now we're seeing it. Yes.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So for the best in show overall winner, it's going to Rachel Marquez. And as you can see right here, she has a pretty colorful cake. It looks very tasty. Unfortunately, we're not able to, test them as far as the taste, but overall, she is the overall winner.
For most original, we have Katie Decker, who she did a cookie shaped like the county with a seal and various Earth-like cookies.
For the first place for the cake category for 17 and over, we have Max Dunsker. His cake, it appears it's the box and it's tilted and it's creating the cake, mapping it outside the box, which is pretty clever.
For first place for cookie 17 and over, we have Laura Vargas with she did blue and green cookies that are supposed to represent water and land.
And for the 16 and under, we have Eva Marquez, and her topic was bad topography, and it was pretty clever. There's some misspelling there, which was done intentionally, and overall, great work.
And then finally, honorable mention goes to Miles Sutherland for he made the geocam cookie, which is a gigantic cookie. And thank you for everybody who submitted. Everything looked fantastic, and congrats.
All right, well, some fabulous entries. Happy to see so much creativity, and as the judges noted, they were not able to actually sample the cakes and cookies, which we hope next year, perhaps when we're back in person in downtown LA, we can actually have a in-person cookie and cake competition where you can bring your entries to us and the judges. I like chocolate, by the way, so keep that in mind.